Hi LCS, my name is Kevin Merchandani. I work here as the K-12 Director of Learning. It's a privilege to be here with Amy Stromgren, our Indigenous Learning Chair. And I'm really excited because I thought it'd be a valuable opportunity for us to hear from Amy as we look forward to our week of Indigenous education and learning about truth and reconciliation. And so Amy, thank you so much for joining us. And we're just really excited to hear you and your story and what you have to share with us and lead us in this week of Indigenous education.
I am a teacher here at Langley Christian. I've been working here, this is my 6th year working at Langley Christian. I am a homeroom teacher, and this is my 3rd year in the role as Indigenous Learning Chair. I just wanted to share a bit of my story and my background with the community. So my parents are Rima Desjardins from the Wolf Lake Métis settlement, and my father was Russell Joe from the Buffalo Lake Métis settlement. When I was young, quite young, I was placed in foster care. I would live there for 2 years before I was adopted by a British couple. And was raised by them with no connection to culture, language, family. I did not know my family history. I did not know who they were, where they were from, until I reconnected with them in my 30s. I did attend Christian school growing up, and that is where I came to know God and Jesus, and that's when I turned my life over to Jesus. I realized that His plan for me was bigger than what I could see, and His plan was leading me to here and now, and where I am now in life. And my education was not, it was a very colonized education. I did not learn what we now know as the true history of Canada. I didn't learn about residential schools. I did not learn about just how our country came to be in the true sense of the word. And I did not understand the trauma that came around being an Indigenous person in Canada in this time and place because of the way our country was formed. It wasn't until I was in university that I really started to learn those things and understand that history.
So I've been thinking for you as a Christian and Indigenous woman, what would you encourage us to be thinking about as we begin to participate this week in discussions about truth and reconciliation?
Right, so I think it's really important for people to really look at the truth behind things, behind our history, behind the history of education itself. Look at how curriculum has been developed in the past, leaving voices out of the story, and look at the way it's been developed and said in the past, and then how they were taught even. And then look forward to what knowing and understanding the truth behind it, how that then helps us share that truth with our students, with our families, what that means for our country moving forward. And then how do we then reconcile that history and move forward in that?
That's really helpful, Amy. And so as I think about what it means for us to be Langley Christian this year in particular, we've heard about the Kamloops residential school and other conversations about the importance of reconciliation today, even in the present. What would you encourage us to be thinking about this week as we take up this responsibility to learn, to understand, and to respond? What would you share with us as we engage this week?
Yeah, I would encourage people to take time to reflect on what the recent discoveries have meant for Indigenous people. That number has grown now from 215. The last count I heard was close to 7,000 buried undocumented deaths of children, and that number is so extraordinary, and it's hard for us to understand and to really wrap our heads around what those children went through, but also what their families went through and the impact that's had on Indigenous communities. So I want to encourage our families and our students to take time and reflect on that, but to also just look at how we can change this story moving forward, and what has God called us to do in this situation, and that is just to spread love and spread His love and show His love through that He is present in all situations, and that this was not His plan, but we can now change this story and this the way that this has gone. We can use this as an opportunity now to ensure that our students know the truth and how we can move forward from this.
Thanks, Amy. This is going to be a really encouraging week and thought-provoking, but as well, I'm reminded of what it means to do this together. So yeah, I want to thank you for sharing your story and for encouraging us with our week of learning ahead.
Thank you.